In 1850, the United States passes the Compromise of 1850, a series of laws aiming to ease tensions between free and slave states. In France, Napoleon III solidifies his power, transforming the French Second Republic into the French Empire by 1852. The Taiping Rebellion erupts in 1850 in China, led by Hong Xiuquan, seeking to overthrow the Qing dynasty in one of the deadliest conflicts in history. California becomes the 31st state of the U.S. in 1850, accelerating the nation's westward expansion and the California Gold Rush. In 1851, the Great Exhibition is held in London, showcasing innovations from the Industrial Revolution and marking Britain as a global industrial power. In 1851, Queen Victoria opens the Crystal Palace, a marvel of iron and glass, symbolizing Britain's technological and cultural supremacy. Louis Kossuth, a Hungarian nationalist, tours the U.S. in 1851, advocating for independence from Austria after the failed 1848 revolution. In 1851, the Indian Mutiny against British colonial rule begins to brew, as resistance to British authority grows in India. In 1852, Argentina's Battle of Caseros leads to the fall of Juan Manuel de Rosas, a significant shift in Argentine politics. Uncle Tom's Cabin, written by Harriet Beecher Stowe in 1852, is published, becoming a powerful anti-slavery novel and influencing public opinion. In Australia, the Victorian Gold Rush starts in 1851, dramatically increasing the population and wealth of the region. Frederick Douglass publishes his autobiography in 1851, detailing his experiences as a slave and furthering the abolitionist cause. In 1851, the first undersea telegraph cable is laid between England and France, revolutionizing international communication. The Argentine Constitution of 1853 establishes a democratic framework, aiming to unify the country after years of civil conflict. In 1852, Brazil begins railway construction to improve internal trade, linking coffee plantations to coastal ports and boosting the economy. In 1853, the Crimean War begins as Russia faces an alliance of Britain, France, and the Ottoman Empire over control of the Black Sea region. Matthew Perry, a U.S. naval officer, arrives in Japan in 1853, demanding that Japan open its ports to American trade, ending centuries of isolation. In 1853, the Gadsden Purchase is signed between the U.S. and Mexico, adding parts of modern-day Arizona and New Mexico to the U.S. In 1854, the Kansas-Nebraska Act is passed in the U.S., allowing new territories to decide whether to permit slavery, reigniting national tensions. Florence Nightingale travels to Crimea in 1854, revolutionizing battlefield medicine and laying the foundation for modern nursing. In 1854, the Republican Party is founded in the U.S. in response to the expansion of slavery, quickly becoming a major political force. The Treaty of Kanagawa, signed in 1854, opens Japanese ports to the U.S., marking the beginning of Japan's transformation into a global power. In 1854, cholera sweeps through London, prompting Dr. John Snow to identify contaminated water as the source, revolutionizing public health. In 1855, the Battle of Sevastopol becomes a decisive moment in the Crimean War, showcasing the horrors of siege warfare. In 1854, the Cambridge University Library reopens, preserving valuable manuscripts and knowledge after years of expansion. The U.S. ratifies the Reciprocity Treaty with Canada in 1854, promoting free trade and closer economic ties between the two nations. In 1855, David Livingstone begins his explorations of Africa, mapping the Zambezi River and contributing to European knowledge of the continent. The first modern elevators are installed in buildings in New York City in 1855, revolutionizing urban architecture. The Bessemer process is developed in 1855, significantly improving steel production and fueling the next phase of industrial growth. In 1855, the Crimean War continues to devastate Eastern Europe, setting the stage for a fragile peace and reshaping European alliances.